I love how you always, one of you at least, always leads me with a good segue. Because speaking of water, I was at my family's property, also secondary segue, in Clyde, in Crabtree, this weekend helping out with some things over there. And they have some ponds on their property, and there's one at the top of the mountain behind their house that we used to always swim in as kids. And it's kind of like that water that you probably only would swim in when you're a kid and you don't care. You know what I mean? Like it's, I look at it now and I'm like, that's interesting. But what was actually interesting was usually there's just like a nice thin layer of brown on the top. But where everything's been kind of churned up from the bottom, there's a lot of fish in it. But yesterday, it was clear. Like I could see like 3 feet down. And it just reminds me so much of why our yoga practice is meant to be slow, is meant to be a movement into stillness. Because sometimes the only way that you can get clarity on things is allowing things to settle, right? Is allowing that kind of sediment to not keep churning and churning and churning and churning and building, but to just sit with what is and watch what happens when all of that dust settles down to the bottom. So that's the invitation today and always, but particularly today. Can you just allow your attention to settle from that external sensory overload to the messaging, to the signals that are happening inside, and see what comes out of that? Like some level of clarity, even if it's just more questions, it's fine, but some level of going inside is the point. Make sense? Yeah. Okay, let's get unmurkied, basically. All right, let's start standing, please.